I finally finished this model. This is the Hasegawa Mazda 767B. Obviously, it's a race car. It is a curbside. There is no engine. It's a pretty good kit. Sometimes things can be a little fiddly, but that just comes with the course of building these kits. They're very precise. Everything's molded well. Very few, if any, mold lines. If you do see a mold line, they're very hard to find, which is good. There's two major parts of this car, the upper part and the lower part. There's not much of a chassis. It's all flat, of course, on the bottom. You can't see anything because it's a race car. But the top gives you a little bit of a few detail options here and there. The cockpit is the most complicated part. Even though it's basic, compared to the rest of the kit, it's complicated. The wing is very complicated because it's very unusual that it has all this bracing that attaches underneath on the second piece where the chassis is. So that's kind of slow going because you're gluing one or two pieces on it at a time, let that dry, overnight, and then do another piece or two, and it's because there's many multi pieces involved in it. That takes a little bit of time. But most of it is pretty good. I like the look of the car. I like the shape. I like these kinds of race cars. The decals went on well. A couple of them broke in a couple places. You can see one here on the wing, right here. There's one right there on the wing. It broke. Actually, it broke in the same place on the top and the bottom part. I recommend if you're going to put that decal on, you put the decal on before you put the wing on all the bracing and everything else. It would be better to paint it and then put the decal on then. I painted it blue, and it does show it as being blue on the box to more or less match this decal on the front. All the other decals came with the kit. Pretty much. I didn't put them on exactly like the instructions say for different reasons. I think I mentioned in a previous video, these two pieces right here are very difficult to get on. And I got some glue on both of them, so I just used a decal to cover that up. They'd already been painted. Well, the whole kit is molded in yellow, so this yellow is not very close. It's not very much different. It's very close to the original, and I painted it Tamiya TS16, which went on very well. I did put Tamiya clear over it, even though this is a gloss color. The paint out of the can was a little uneven in different spots, and that might have been because of the temperature, because it was one of those days when it was a little cool weather, possibly. Even though I heat the cans up with warm water, it just may not have laid down the way Tamiya paint normally lays down. So I put a coat of Tamiya clear over it a few days later, and it was fine. For the wing, I used this color. I don't normally use these kinds of paints, but I had bought this for a project before, and it was the closest color I had to that blue on the window, so I went ahead and used it. I didn't want to buy a whole can of paint just to paint that wing. It's too expensive to do that. I like the wheels. Of course, you got to paint the black portion in the middle. And there's really, I can't think of much else. I mean, this part is painted silver on the side, just on the one side. Has a very short exhaust part that installs inside. There's no full exhaust or anything like that. If you like this body style, you like the shape of these cars, or you like Mazdas as I do, this just was a good build. I don't know if other modelers have this problem, but sometimes I get to putting a model together, and the closer you get to the end of building it, the more you want to get it finished, especially after you're waiting, you know, one day for this part or assembly to dry, and the next day, and then the next week, and then, you know, it keeps going on because things get complicated. But most of it is not that way. There are some odd parts on the underside of the body that go in there to make it work, that are not necessarily part of the real car, but they make the model assemble the way it assembles. Because like I say, this all top part of the car, there's a seam that runs right down there, which you don't have to fill it or anything, because once you snap the top part onto the bottom, it fits tight. So there's no reason to putty that or anything like that. You just push it down on there. It almost clicks into place. But there are some parts that are on the underside to make those two pieces fit. And they're a little odd in the instructions. You just have to be careful and pay attention to them. I can almost show you one here. Like there's like two pieces here. You know, these, I'm sure in a real car they probably don't even have those, but those somehow make it fit even on the sides when you put it together. And here's the interior, you can see. And that's about it. So I hope you like it. If you have one of these kits, they make several of these kits, all with different decals. I bought this one because I prefer to paint. I'm not good on multicolor paint jobs, and this car was all one color, and I've been wanting to build a 767 for a long time, and I know Tamiya makes them too, but theirs has an engine and they're much more expensive. But I'm happy with the Hasegawa, but the ones that have come out before had complicated paint jobs and just more than I wanted to do. And then when this one came out, I said, perfect. I like the car. This is a single one color car. Should be easy to do. And it was easy to paint. Of course, you don't have to build your car this way, but if you do buy the kit and you're okay with it being a curbside and you like Mazdas, then I would say, yeah, get one. It's not that bad. So that's it. I guess we'll see you on the next build. The next one I will probably be finished will probably be the Duster Funny car, which I mentioned before in a video, which I showed you a little bit of what I've done. And I haven't done anything yet on the body. The body's more or less done. I just got a few other minor things to do to it. But I'm working and painting all the other parts. I had to de-chrome a bunch of parts. Boy, there's a lot of chrome parts in that kit. I mean, probably like 70% of that kit is on the chrome trees. So I had to strip a lot of chrome off, which I'm doing with my trusty purple cleaner, which I bought a new gallon of it the other day because I ran out of I used the last of the gallon I had before already. But usually I buy a gallon. It lasts like at least a couple of years or more, because I mean it's not all the time that you have to strip a car of chrome parts or anything, or even I wouldn't use it for cleaning paint or stripping paint, because it's not great at that. It's great at chrome, but not necessarily paint. So ending with that, we'll catch you on the next video, and later.